Hello and welcome to Africa on the Move in partnership with DW. I am Funmi Unuajefe. Today, we'll be focusing on how people on the continent are taking care of their environment. In Kenya, someone initiated the plan of trash for cash.
Every Monday, Jeffrey Baluzzi, age 26, combs the beach as part of a cleanup crew from the Watamu Marine Association. Each time, they pick up about 4 big sacks of plastic waste. They're paid the equivalent of €4 a day. That means they earn €16 a month. That's not very much, but they're all happy to do this work. Jeffrey has been part of the crew since its inception.
My main intention was just to change the environment itself, because since the environment was different here, there was a lot of taka, and this was dangerous even to the sea creatures. So that's what brought me here, in fact.
They bring the trash to a recycling center run by the organization, not far from the beach. Shakushi Lewa helps sort the trash. He lives on the grounds of the recycling center. They separate hard and soft plastic. Part of it is given to local artists and women's associations which make flip-flop sandals or window screens to stop insects from getting into houses. The hard plastic is the organization's cash cow. It brings in the equivalent of €7,000 a year. The recycling center has acquired a new shredder. Soon it will be able to handle plastic not just from all of Watamu, but from another nearby community. Jeffrey thinks they'll be able to shred about 20,000 kilos of hard plastic, more than double their present capacity.
So I can say this project has been so beneficial on me and the project itself, because up to date, the taka we used to have on the beach are now reduced. On the village, the same.
Thanks to the initiative, around 25 people in Watamu are earning steady money. Shakushu was unemployed for a long time until the project hired him. He lives for free on the grounds of the recycling center. He mixes old paper, water, and wood chips to make briquettes for burning. The business idea earns him the equivalent of €100 a month from garbage.
When
the people from the community collect those plastics and bring them here, they get money for the plastic. Jeffrey says the biggest challenge is to make clear to the community that recycling plastic is much more than just a short-term money-making project.
The challenge we do have is that, because people say, okay, I can join with you working there, but what are you going to give me? You know? So you have to pay him. Instead of volunteering, they don't volunteer. And they do have to volunteer, because this is their country. The environment belongs to them too.
The Watamu environmental activists want to do more to educate the community. Jeffrey wants to make people understand that recycling garbage is meaningful. It looks like he's already come a long way.
If you ask me, I think they should legislate that all bottling companies should recycle all their PET bottles. Recycling could create a revolution. Still in Kenya, a former banker recycles plastics and create new products which will reduce the cutting of trees and in the end, save the forest.
Nicholas Wambua is busy marking the borders of his farm outside Nairobi. Usually farmers here use wooden posts for their fences, but Nicholas has bought a new product.
Compared to the normal poles, the lifespan of this one is longer than the normal poles, so I prefer this one. It is reducing the destruction of forest, because now you find we are lessening the cutting of the trees in our country. So I am for it, because our ecosystem is being controlled.
On the outskirts of Nairobi, the posts are produced by a new, innovative company. EcoPost is the brainchild of Lorna Ruto, a former banker. She came up with an ingenious way of getting rid of the city's plastic waste by making eco-friendly posts from recycled plastic.
All this plastic waste has been collected from various dump sites, some streets, and even homes, people's homes. So we bring them here. This is the first step. They are flooded from the truck. Then we store them until we get a good quantity. From there, we're able to take them into processing.
Every month, EcoPost gives 40 to 50 tons of plastic waste new life as building material. In its first year of operation, it produced more than 5,000 posts, removing hundreds of tons of plastic waste from the environment.
We crush the sawdust and we mix it with the plastic, and we make very good aesthetic and quality posts that can be used even for now building. And it's an alternative to timber, so by so doing we're able to save a lot of trees, and we hope to save the 2% forest cover that is remaining in Kenya.
Kenya has a massive problem with deforestation. Much of the wood is used as building material. EcoPost offers not only an alternative, it also removes plastic waste, which helps limit toxic pollution. Something Funmi Unuajefe strongly endorses.
The society is part of the problem. A problem in the sense that they are the source of that waste, and they should actually be responsible on how to dispose of it. If there is a market, and that market generates 2-3 tons every day of waste plastic, then the market should have regulatory guidelines on how to recycle whatever they generate. Then we'll end up with less plastic strewn on the streets or in the landfills.
Every year, Kenya's plastic waste grows almost tenfold. Lorna Ruto has shown that it's also a resource which can generate huge profits. EcoPost has already created almost 40 full-time positions and hundreds of casual jobs.
So it is not only in Kenya that people are making money from waste. In Gabon, one man is separating and recycling waste.
They have become an established team. Several times a week, men from global services come over to the market in Labarene, Gabon, and sort the enormous amount of waste. Organic waste goes into the pink bags and plastic in the blue. This is all done under the watchful eye of CEO Funmi Unuajefe. Unfortunately, the people here are used to just throwing their garbage on the street. Many simply don't understand why they should think about waste separation and recycling. That's why we have to explain to them the importance of this over and over again. Not only to the residents, but also to the city administration. Labarene may be small, but for years it's had a big waste problem. The city waste management exists only on paper. Businessman Makaya took action. The 37-year-old founded his own private waste collection company, rented a small office, and established a team of 8 strong men. Now they are the stars of Labarene. It's very nice to see what they're doing here. A clean environment helps everybody. We used to really have too much garbage here, but since the people of Global Services started their operations, you can see a difference. These 2 tricycles transport the garbage daily to the depository on the outskirts of Labarene. The company purchased them with its initial capital, which it won in a startup competition. This is the most unpleasant part of the work for the men of Global Services. Here is where the waste is burned. This, of course, is not good. It's not good for the health of the people who work here. And it's also not good for the environment that we actually want to protect. Now the businessman is working together with his wife on the next step of his garbage project. They want to construct a recycling plant in the jungle of Labarene. The plastic waste will be mixed with sand to create a cement-like brick. The mass is well suited for road construction. And the land has already been purchased and cleared. What's missing now is only money. Of course, it's all a difficult and lengthy process. To be honest, I have sometimes thought of giving up. But today, I'm more convinced than ever that we'll succeed. Makaya has already convinced a producer about his recycling idea, who's supplying Makaya with sand at a special price.
A 16-year-old in Tanzania holds a weekly show focused on the environment.
She's determined, ambitious, and has come a long way. Valentine Waku is a scientist and a staff member at the International Centre for Tropical Agriculture, or CIAT, in Nairobi. For now, the 29-year-old is researching the quinoa plant. The nutritious crop from South America could help in solving Africa's nutrition problem. For this, she analyses seed and soil samples from 5 countries in East and West Africa.
The seed and soil will be analysed so that we can see the relation between the nutrients in the soil and the yield we're getting from the seeds.
In the first year of her long-term project, Valentine Waku already discovered 3 suitable kinds. Her results are soon going to be implemented by the farmers.
Especially this being a new crop, we want to tell them that you can have a good yield with this and this variety. So we will propose that these are the varieties that are doing well in Africa.
From the lab to the fields. The Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organisation works hand in hand with the researchers. The farmers from Machakos have been taking part for 1 year. They get tips on planting and harvesting a particular type of bean. Because of the training we got, the work is now reduced for us. Now we always uproot the weeds and then use them for mulching.
We are proud because we're getting good harvests. It's not like before, because we were taught how to plant, and together with my group, we're applying what we learned.
The farmers get to put the surplus from their harvest on the market or sell to processing companies. This is also a result of the project.
Our role, in short, has been select which varieties can go for industrial processing, the pre-cooked, train the stakeholders, including the farmers, on how to grow them and to aggregate them.
For the scientists at CIAT, sustainability is important. Director Robin Burukara knows this as well. The institute now has the plasma of all the bean germs known across the world.
We have the germplasm, there's the research we can do, but we work very closely together with our national research systems and then work closely together with agents which can support dissemination so that the farmers get the product.
The bean project has been ongoing for 1 year and is soon coming to an end. Valentine Waku is happy about its success. She also researched the beans. Now with quinoa, the goal remains the same.
This food security crisis in Africa is ongoing song. So with especially what I'm involved in the quinoa, if it's successful and we see that it can do well in Africa, it will really improve the livelihoods of the downtrodden people.
Valentine Waku's quinoa project has been planned for 5 years. The scientist wishes that the farmers would quickly profit from her results and that quinoa would successfully be planted in Africa.
Imagine if we could educate young Africans very early about recycling waste and taking care of the environment, we would have a cleaner continent. But trust me, it's not too late to act. We'll take a break and then we'll be right back.
That is how we get looped into a cycle of insanity, repeating the same thing and expecting a different result. That cycle of failure is unsustainable and it has to end now.
Perfection train is back.
They take us to the bush and start asking us to call our people to send money.
What can be done as an intervention for them right now to stop abuse of all children?
Welcome back. So in our next story, we are taught not to take the fresh air we breathe for granted.
These volunteers are about to learn a lot about the benefits of fresh air. Brice Delagneau is the activist behind the tree planting campaign. The meeting place is no coincidence. It's the epicenter of exhaust emissions in this city of nearly 5 million. We're amazed that many more people came to participate in the reforestation campaign than we expected. Banco Forest is just outside the Ivorian commercial capital, Abidjan. It's clearly visible from the highway, but many urban residents have never been here before. Brice studied environmental management in Abidjan, then founded his own organization. With this campaign, he wants Abidjan residents to understand that Banco Forest is the city's source of oxygen. This is a large metropolis. There are so many cars. The ones you see here in the city are usually bad for the environment. They're 10, 15, or even 20 years old. Sometimes even older than that. Without Banco Forest, the air in Abidjan would probably be much worse. Recent studies show that people already breathe in 3,000 tons of carbon dioxide here every day. With its abundant vegetation and rare tree species, the forest exudes a kind of magic. Part of it remains untouched and has been designated a national park. But many trees are being cut down outside the protected area. In 2009, this entire space was a rainforest. Today, it's full of residential buildings and factories. There's only one thing to do to save part of the cleared area: plant more trees. Participants plant various kinds of trees, including makore, nyangon, and tiama. These volunteers say the air is clean and refreshing, and healthy. The funds for this campaign come from an annual environmental conference. More than 70 new trees have been planted just today. To assess the impact of his efforts, Brice returns to the rainforest. Looking at this natural beauty, I would like every Ivorian to get involved and preserve it and stop cutting down trees. They should be protected. The same goes for the whole environment. Everyone should come to this space so they can learn how to love nature. Brice Delagneau has been able to inspire more than 130 volunteers with his initiative. He's also taken his campaign to neighboring Burkina Faso and Ghana.
If we knew how valuable trees are to the air we breathe, I doubt we'll cut down a single tree. So from planting trees, we go to the eco-warriors protecting their land.
In the remote Yaida Valley, the Hadza people have lived like this for 10,000 years. They still depend on the forest for hunting meat and gathering fruits, and even whistling to birds, which lead them to honey. But today, their land is under threat, and to protect it, they're turning to modern technology.
We hate it. We don't like to see the trees cut down like this.
Ezekiel Filippo is one of the Hadza's forest guards who patrol the area looking for signs of damage. His team uses GPS satellite tracking to collect evidence of the destruction.
We use tools to record where we have been on patrol, and we take pictures. If we come across an area where someone has destroyed trees, we take a picture on the GPS device and it records the location.
The problem is the competition for this land. Other tribes need space for farming and cattle grazing, and in places that means the natural habitat is completely destroyed.
You can see the state of it. It is devastating. The way they are farming this land. Now where are the Hadza people going to live?
When I was a child, all of this was thick forest. There were lots of animals, and this area was especially good for collecting honey. It hurts my soul to see it now.
To stop the destruction, it is now illegal to cut down trees on Hadza land. And where the patrols find damage, they can arrest or report the offenders, who will face a fine.
When it happened that there is someone establishing maybe settlement or a piece of farm or a boma, that is an illegal issue. So the Walinzi Wajadi or village game scout, using GPS picture, to prepare the report that will be sent to the village governments to take a legal step against this issue, because it is not allowed.
The project is funded by the Global Carbon Credit Scheme, where businesses offset their emissions by contributing money to projects that reduce carbon. The villages are given payments twice a year of thousands of dollars. And the patrols also work with other tribes in the area to voice their concerns about the environment. There are now just under 1,000 Hadza people left in this area, thought to be among the last hunter-gatherers in the world.
This, everything you can see below me here, is the land of the Hadza people. This is where we live. This is where we get our meat and our honey. This is what we call home. I feel very happy when I see how we have looked after this beautiful land. Before, when I saw the land being destroyed, I hated it. But now that I see it being protected, I feel very happy.
Thank you for watching Africa on the Move in partnership with DW. See you next week. I am Funmi Unuajefe.